We've been talking a lot recently about the Oblivion remaster, mostly because of how good it is, of course, but also because of how insanely successful it continues to be. And obviously, due to that fact, a lot of us Fallout fans have been wondering, hey, is it our time for remasters next? Because if we go back just a few years when this FTC document was leaked, you can see here that a Fallout 3 remaster was at least somewhat planned or thought about. It wasn't confirmed or announced or even in development, but it being in this FTC document shows that yes, it was at least discussed at Bethesda. And now with, again, just how insanely successful the Oblivion remaster has been, I don't think anyone would be shocked to learn that they've not only greenlit a Fallout 3 remaster, but that it's probably already in development. In fact, not too long ago, Nate the Hate, who was a very reliable leaker leading up to the Oblivion remaster, has said that it's going to be a long while until we see a Fallout 3 remaster, but this does sort of hint at it happening. Okay, so just for the sake of discussion, let's say that this is happening and we are going to get a Fallout 3 remaster eventually at some point. Probably by the same folks that remastered Oblivion, because Bethesda Game Studios just have way too much on their plate at the moment. What can we expect, and more importantly, what can they do to make a Fallout 3 remaster even better than the Oblivion remaster? Well, the first thing for me has got to be the FPS. This is something that I feel is really important. Oblivion remastered on the Xbox Series S, and I know that that's only like a small amount of players, but it's still worth noting. Anyway, Oblivion remastered on the Series S is only 30 FPS, and you know, it's laughable when any game releases at 30 FPS in 2025, but it's even more laughable when you realise that they couldn't get a 20-year-old game to run at least 60 FPS on the Series S. It just makes your console look awful, and therefore makes your company look awful, and like your technology look bad, and it just kills the game for a lot of people too. Most Xbox owners that I know anyway only have a Series S, and handing them a 30 FPS game in 2025 that's not even really a new game, it's a remaster of a game that's 2 decades old, I'm sorry, it's just flat out embarrassing, and that's the first thing that they need to improve with a Fallout 3 remaster. You need to make it at least 60 FPS on every single platform. But okay, so besides that, because that really is like the only issue that I think people have with the Oblivion remaster, so moving on, obviously a huge graphical improvement is something that we would get, and of course by huge, I mean huge. If you compare original Oblivion to the remaster, it's not even close. Even I, someone who was expecting absolute greatness from this Oblivion remaster, was shocked at how good it looks visually when they revealed it. And I think the biggest challenge for them when they get around to remastering Fallout 3 is actually going to be the combat. Because the combat for Fallout 3, honestly, Fallout 3 has never had good combat. Even when it came out, it was still pretty mediocre. Now, with Oblivion, they really didn't change the combat all that much. I mean, they improved it, sure, but really they just made it smoother. And while that's great and it works wonderfully for Oblivion, I fear it won't work as well with Fallout 3. You would literally need to rip the combat out of Fallout 4 and paste it into Fallout 3, and I think that that would be the biggest challenge. Letting us jump, letting us sprint, letting us aim down sights, especially aim from cover, reloading while sprinting, you know, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than just making the combat feel a little smoother. They're basically going to have to remake the entire combat system, in my opinion. And look, Fallout 3 is my second favourite Fallout game after the original Fallout, and even I really struggle to go back to Fallout 3 nowadays, and the reason why is because of how, to be honest, janky and lame the combat feels to my mind now. Obviously, when it came out, I would say, yeah, this is just fine, but going back to it now, I'm like, this is fucking awful. And yeah, so that's why I would honestly argue that the combat is the number one thing that they absolutely need to focus the most on and work the most on while remastering Fallout 3. Honestly, it's not even just the combat. I think that they're going to take a lot from Fallout 4 because Oblivion Remastered took a lot from Skyrim, even changing their leveling and their UI to be more like Skyrim. And of course, they did this because they knew that a big, probably majority of people who would play this Oblivion Remaster had either only ever played Skyrim and had never touched Oblivion, or hadn't played Oblivion for so goddamn long but had put thousands of hours into Skyrim in the last 10 years. And Fallout 4 is pretty much the Skyrim of the Fallout franchise, right? It's the most popular Fallout game, most sold Fallout game, so on and so forth. So they are going to want to take as much from Fallout 4 as possible, I feel. Whether that's simply changing the Nuka-Cola bottles to look more like the Fallout 4 Nuka-Cola bottles, or if that's changing the HUD, the UI, or changing how RADs work. I don't know, but I'm expecting a lot of these Fallout 4 things to come into a Fallout 3 remaster. Now, something I really do want to talk about are the visuals. While Fallout is my favourite Fallout game, Fallout 3 definitely has the best atmosphere in my opinion, although it is very close. And a lot of that does come down to the visuals of Fallout 3. If you look at the original Oblivion compared to the remaster, the visuals weren't just improved, they were outright changed. The atmosphere feels a little different, and this is honestly something that would concern me going into a Fallout 3 remaster, that they'd change the visuals way too much and it would kill a lot of what made Fallout 3's atmosphere so great. But it's not just, visuals and textures on buildings or roads or grass or whatever. It's also NPCs and creatures and enemies. Would they change Fallout 3 ghouls and super mutants to look more like they do in Fallout 4 and Fallout 76? Honestly, this is just something I guess we'll have to wait and see, though I do think the best option would be kind of mix the two, right? Some super mutants look like remastered versions of the Fallout 3 super mutants, and others would look kind of more like the Fallout 4 super mutants. I don't know, and of course the same goes for ghouls and deathclaws and everything else. So like I just said, while there is a lot that I feel does need changing and vastly improving, I am a little worried of how they would change the visuals, because the atmosphere is arguably one of the at least top 5 things that makes Fallout 3 such a good game, and I'd hate to see that ruined. But you know what? Don't get your hopes up. There are no, confirmations that we are 100% going to get a Fallout 3 remaster. It's just sort of looking like that. For all we know, they could have seen the success of the Oblivion remaster and thought, okay, now we'll do Morrowind, or now we'll do Fallout 4, or New Vegas, or now we'll put out Skyrim again, because why the fuck not? I mean, we'd all buy it. And don't lie, don't comment saying you wouldn't buy it, because I know you would. I would too, because we're stupid. But anyway, I mean, the question really is for you guys. Comment down below what you would want to see in a Fallout 3 remaster. Would you simply just want visual improvements, or would you want other things changed, like the combat? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, please do drop the video with a like if you would be so kind. And if you're new around here and you want to stay up to date on everything Bethesda, please be sure to subscribe, because I cover it all over here. Lastly, as always, a huge, massive thank you to all of our channel members for their continued support. But with all of that said and done, I will see you guys in the next one.